All right, we're just going to keep barreling through with these asymptotes, and hopefully you're going to start getting a feel for it. It's not as hard as it might appear. Now, this question was about vertical asymptotes. In our last video, we were emphasizing horizontal and oblique. I just want to, for completeness, mention vertical asymptotes again. It's just when the denominator is 0, and so you're looking for when does that 0, that's going to be at -3. And when is that 0? That's at +5. You got to check your numerator. We're going to see one here in a little bit with vertical asymptotes. What you're looking for is a constant divided by 0, where the constant is not 0. And so we're going to see an example here in a minute where the numerator is a problem, and you get a 0 divided by 0. And those are not vertical asymptotes. But in this case, we have our vertical asymptotes 5 and -3. All right, well, I want to go back and do some of these oblique asymptotes. So remember, the one degree higher than the denominator is an oblique asymptote. So let's grab number 9. And we're going to do some long division. This one's a little bit more involved than our last example. So x cubed minus 5x squared plus x minus 4. But we just got to take one extra step that we didn't do a couple of videos back. Now, x squared goes in x cubed x times. Now, you're just trying to come up with a value that will get you x cubed, and we have it. So that puts x cubed here. I'm multiplying this back through, and we get a -15x. All right, now you multiply all the way through, and you subtract. You can make mistakes here. You got to be really careful. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. Now that -5x squared doesn't have anything to subtract, so it still just comes down as -5x squared. Just for completeness, let me go ahead and finish this out. X minus a -15 is a positive 16x. The negative makes that positive 15x. You get 16x. That -4 has nothing to subtract, and so it just comes down as -4. But really, the big deal here is actually getting this correct. Pulling that down correctly is all we really need, because we have to ask ourselves the question, how many times is x squared going to -5x squared? The answer is -5 times. You get -5x squared. The rest of this is not real important, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it. So 5 times 15, that is 75. And we would subtract, if we cared, that we don't need all this, but I just want to make sure you see that that's a 0. The 16x has nothing to subtract, so it would come down. The -4 would subtract the -75 to get -79. I just want you to see where we're headed here. X squared does not divide into 16x. This is our remainder. We don't need any of that. What we need is right here. This is our oblique asymptote. Oblique asymptote is y equals x minus 5. And so that was a little bit tougher. They already have the y equals here. Oh my, let's see here. So determine the horizontal asymptote of the graph. There is no horizontal asymptote. We didn't have to do any of that, but it sure was fun. There is no horizontal asymptote. It's oblique. There's no horizontal asymptote. All right. Now, the next one does say, what is the oblique asymptote? So here we go on number 10. Here we go. X plus 4 divided into x squared minus 5. And here we go. X goes in x squared x times. We multiply it back through. We get x squared plus 4x. We subtract, and we get 0. Now, this is very important. You get the wrong answer if you do that subtraction. That negative goes all the way through. You get -4x. The -5 has nothing to subtract, so it comes down as -5. X goes into -4x minus 4 times. We are done. That is our oblique asymptote. It is y equals x minus 4, and no more to be done there. We have found our oblique asymptote, and that was a little tricky. Okay, let's do another. Now remember, we really only need to do one or 2 steps. We have to get the linear factor, and then we've got to get the constant right. So we really just need to do 2 steps here. So even though this is kind of long looking, we just have to go x squared goes in x cubed x times. Bring that around, you get x cubed. You get a positive 3x squared. You get a minus 3x. All we need is to get this next thing right. Now you have to subtract. You get 0. Negative x squared minus squared, that's negative 4x squared. You don't need all this other stuff. You just need that negative 4, and that goes right there. That is our oblique asymptote. Y equals x minus 4. That is our solution to number 11. One more oblique asymptote just to round it all out, just so that you get one more piece of practice. Now this one has, let's see here, negative 3. One of these has a an oddity, but anyway, let's just go ahead and do the oblique asymptote. Oh yeah, this is not the one. There's a oddity later. We'll do the oddity in the next video. Anyway, we're dividing x plus 3 into x squared minus 9x plus 18. X goes in x squared x times. You multiply that around, you get plus 3x. You subtract, you get 0 every time. If you don't get 0, then you chose the wrong value there. Now, negative 9x minus 3x is negative 12x. The 18 is not relevant, but we'll go ahead and bring it down just to be precise. X goes into negative 12x, negative 12 times. There's our oblique asymptote. No more work needs to be done. Y equals x minus 12. So let's find that. That's not even mentioned, but you can kind of see the obliqueness in the graph. They didn't even ask for the oblique asymptote. Now we have a vertical asymptote at minus 3. The domain needs to leave minus 3 out. The x-intercepts, let's talk about these. While we're at it, just to round out this video, we need to know when this is 0. And we hope this factors nicely. It may or may not. So you got x and x. Now, 18 factors, 6 and 3 is what comes to mind. And if both of them are negative, then you get x equals 6 and 3. These are actually our intercepts. At 6, the x-intercepts are 3, 0 and 6, 0. This is an ordered pair, by the way. So 3, 0 and 6, 0, and you'll see those in the graph here that we choose here in a second. The y-intercept, well, what is the y-intercept? Well, that's when you plug in x equals 0 into the equation. If you plug x equals 0 into the equation, you get y equals 0 squared minus 9 times 0 plus 18 divided by 0 plus 3. Well, we get a 18 divided by 3. You get a 6 as well. Now, but this is different, though. This is 0, 6. And this is an ordered pair. We're putting in the x, getting back the y. Now, which graph is which? Well, we already know our oblique asymptote is x minus 12. And so a C is definitely out. So it's between A and B. All we have to do is get the intercepts correct. Now, there's a vertical asymptote at minus 3. We also know that there's x-intercepts at 3, 0 and 6, 0. This one doesn't do that, so it's got to be A. And anyway, this video went a little long. I hope that helps with the oblique asymptotes. Thanks for watching.